You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
Go Tigers, 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 go Tigers.
You're now listening to Tough Tiger Talk with Big Q and the guys on the Pro Media Network.
What's going on, family? What's happening? You're now tuned in to Tough Tiger Talk on the PRO Media Network, man. We doing it big, loving it, man. LSU, man. This whole damn season we've been doing it big, man. LSU continues. They didn't fall short what the black and gold did. They ain't try to throw against a team. They should have known they should have ran better. Coach O obviously had better since Sean Payton. Let me stop the bashery right now. That's gonna go on for a while, so get used to it. But tonight it's LSU's night. It's the purple and gold people's night, and for the rest of the year to defend this thing. LSU buzzsaw. Literally buzzsaw through the goddamn Clemson Tide. Fake Tigers, 42-25, taking them apart. This was the defending champions that came into this matchup. Alabama couldn't handle business with this team. They stunk. It took the Tigers, the real Tigers, to take care of business, man. It was a beautiful game. Big ups to Shedrick Mosley. I see you, Shedrick. Big ups to you as the LSU Nation continues to really, man, just celebrate. I'm going to bring in my co-host and key Tough Tiger Talk contributor, Mizzy 5. Mizzy, how you doing tonight, fam?
What's up with it?
You're doing pretty good, fam. Doing pretty good, man. I know it's kind of late, man. We're going to do a flash show. We're going to just jump on it and cover this one, bro. But, man, what could you say about LSU, man? This was a spectacular win, man. This was a beautiful win. Absolutely loving the hell out of this. I'm bringing my co-host and key, actually loving this one. What's your thoughts on it, man? Keep it rolling, bro.
Well, before I get into that, Lawrence of Arabia, Martin Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence, it don't matter who in front of them. We was automatically win this game. I told you they don't play nobody. I told you these people don't play nobody all season long. They're in one of the weakest conferences that they have, but they can always come to the postseason fresh. They got two dubs against Alabama, and I mean, everybody was just, crowning them, but I mean, you knew this was inevitable. You knew this was going to happen. LSU has more wins over top 5 teams, more wins over top 25 teams than any other school, any other team in 150 years college history. 15-0. Everybody was an underdog or a transfer, or everybody had a point to prove. And we left all that on the field at night, man. You knew what it was.
Man, it just was beautiful, man. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. LSU put up 21 points in the second quarter of this game. They started off a little slow, where it was 7-7. Then they exploded for 21 in the second, and the defense came alive. We talk about the offense, but the defense came alive, and they really made it difficult for Trevor Lawrence, man, in this one. Really made it difficult.
It is.
People don't realize, they really don't realize to the lengths of how difficult they made it for him, Ozzy, because you take a look at what his numbers were for the night, and man, it just floors me. You know how fantastic the defense was in terms of shutting this guy down. 18 of 37, 234 yards, no touchdowns. No touchdowns.
As a whole, they held Clemson under 400 yards, which was for this Clemson team that came in. I mean, the entire country. I don't really care where they placed that. The entire world had penciled Clemson in to not only be in this game, but to beat whoever the opponent was in this game. So, for LSU to hold them under 400 yards, and Joe Burrow himself put up more yardage and more touchdowns than the entire Clemson team, that's got to speak volumes about this guy, man, as one player. Again, I just hope this game translates to the NFL. He obviously is going to Cincinnati, first overall pick, unless the Saints can somehow figure out a way to shuffle a few pieces around and maybe give us an early Christmas present in April. I doubt it, but I mean, hats off to him, hats off to Coach O. I mean, they deserved it. I mean, they put the work in. As Coach O stated, he started this quest last January 17th, and he knew he had the players. He knew he had everything that it took. It just all had to come together. And Joe Burrow, during the off season, obviously tweaked his game. Studied a lot of game film, a lot of game tape. And obviously the coaching staff came in and worked with him. And I mean, this is the product that you got. You got a fifth-year senior headed to the NFL, and I mean, he did it the long way. He didn't do it he did it the old-fashioned way. 4 or 5 years and working behind people and building his craft and building his game. And I don't see anything stopping him but him at this point.
I mean, this was spectacular, man. Joe Burrow's gonna go down as the greatest college quarterback that ever played. I mean, of course, this competition coming into this game where most of the records was Colt Brennan, Hawaii quarterback that really never accomplished nothing but just threw the ball around. This guy actually won national championships. He took things apart. He broke the NCAA FBS single-season records for touchdown passes and touchdowns responsible for the team's win 42-25. He initially had the 58 touchdown passes and 63 touchdowns he's responsible for. Now, Colt Brennan set that back in 06. But he broke, he came close. He knocked it off, and he tied it up when he hit Thad Moss in the end zone. Then he hit Moss again in the third quarter to take sole possession of it. And then he found Terrace Marshall Jr. For the 24-yard score. He finished the game 31-49 for 463 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, his top weapon.
That was bad. He had a couple of drops. Would have got him over the 500.
Right. That Jamal Chase had one that was over the shoulder.
Oh, my God. That'll put him over 500 for the night with another dub.
Right.
So,
despite all that, that was just amazing. Jamal Chase, who dominated his matchup against Clemson's best cornerback, A.J. Terrell, who's listed as a top first-round draft pick, by the way. He finished with 221 receiving yards, the most in the national championship game since the BCS was started back in 1998. He had several explosive plays, including a 52-yard touchdown catch in the first quarter. The LSU record for receiving yards in the bowl is 239, set by Josh Reed back in 02. And Burrow paid the price. He was hit by James Skalski. Skalski, a dirty bastard. He was dirty. They threw him out of the game, and he was playing, and the guy is a mental case. But they threw his ass out of the game for spearing Jefferson. But that kept the ship rolling. But that kept the ship rolling. And 628 total yards in this game by the Fighting Tigers, man. 628. That's insane. They were 4-4, despite the inaptitude on third down, which they were 4-14, didn't stop them from destroying this team. 628 total yards. And like Mozzie said, it could have been 700 with Jamal Chase and a few other opportunities that were dropped out there. Clemson was left total yards 394, 463 through the air by the Tigers, 234 by Clemson through the air, 9.4 yards to throw for Joe Burrow. It's hard to beat a team when every time you throw a pass, it's damn near for a first down. They even had a good rushing attack, 165 yards over 32 attempts by the Tigers. Rushing attempts by Clemson, they didn't do too bad there. Off of 28 attempts, 160 yards there. So both teams are running well. And despite the penalties, LSU had over 100 yards worth of penalties, 11 penalties for 118 versus Clemson, 7 for 65. One turnover, of course, was the fumble loss. Trevor Lawrence fumbled the ball away. And talk about time of possession. Despite all of that destruction in terms of offensive yardage, 628, the LSU Tigers controlled the time of possession. TOP is big with me. You know that. 34-45 was the time of possession for LSU versus 25-15 for Clemson. Man, this was absolutely a just dynamite game of epic proportions, Five. I mean, you read some of these statistics, man. It's absolutely, just watching the game, seeing how it play, and just watching him take apart. And as I was watching the game, I kind of got a little sad because I was like, man, this is going to be the last time that we'll actually be able to watch this offense in its entirety together. and you just knew what kind of day it was going to be. You just knew Joe Burrow and them was going to take this team apart. And like I said, it was going to be a buzzsaw moment. Clemson had not prepared for anything like this. You can't simulate it. And the edge of the defense for LSU, they practice against this prolific offense all the time. So so it ain't nothing that Clemson can show them. Now, Clemson tried to speed it up early in the game. They kind of threw them off rhythm. But, man, I tell you, it's a game of adjustments. And LSU was able to adjust. The master adjusters. Boy, they was able to adjust on the, when that second quarter came into effect. That first one, they were a little thrown off by Clemson because Clemson was striking first and they thought they could throw LSU off. And they did a pretty good job early of getting the score until LSU made the adjustments. And after that, Clemson didn't have anything else to give. And then it was the Joe Burrow show all over on their ass. So, I mean, it was a beautiful performance. Once again, to claim the national championship was everything that we thought it was supposed to be. I just, man, what can I tell you, man? It was a fantastic game. 5. I mean, kind of teary-eyed, man, when I was watching the game. I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to, see this offense anymore. This offense is not going to be there anymore, man. They're going to be moving on to other levels, and we're not going to see this buzzsaw, this version of it this year. We probably get a different version next year. But, man, LSU, pure dominance on the year, man. Pure dominance. What you think about that, 5?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else you can say about it besides the fact that, yeah, you are right. We won't. I hope we haven't gotten spoiled, because we probably won't ever see this again. So we're expecting to see a carbon copy of a Joey Burrow-led LSU football team. I mean, we kind of rest easy that that's not going to happen. It's not to say that with Tua coming out to the draft and Auburn hadn't had, they've been kind of hit or miss over the last 5-6 years. I mean, actually since Cam Newton left, so it's put you almost a decade in now. Mm-hmm. They've been kind of off and on. So I mean, at SEC West, man. If Ed Ogeron could, keep his recruiting where it is, and we can get another class full of 4 and 5 stars, I don't really see a reason why we can't dominate the West for the next 5-6 seasons easily. And not only dominating that West, but we'll always be in a conversation. We'll be in that conversation. And it's not like we haven't had a traditional winning here over the last almost 20 years now. We've had, 4 bowl appearances. We've won 3 of the 4. The only one loss we had was the 2011 loss to Alabama. That was also if I'm not mistaken, that was in the Superdome as well. But that's the only loss that we've had in the 4 times that we've been since 2003. So, I mean, I think we can put up some real good numbers. We have a traditional winning. Coach O, everybody's buying into the system. Everybody's doing what they need to do. So, I mean, as long as that stays intact and everybody kind of stays in place, at least from the staff perspective and from the morale perspective of the school, I don't think we'll have a shortage of recruits. So I think that for the next 5-6 seasons, at least at SEC West, that'll belong to LSU. So, I mean, we'll have a lot of 0 and 1 and 2 loss games over the next 4, 5, 6 years. But I'm excited to see moving forward. Although we won't see this team, I'm kind of excited to see what will they come up with next. What will they produce next? Because you got to understand, Joe Burrow wasn't what we saw this year last year. So it's not to say we can't have a guy come in and under the right tutelage in the right situation. He can't be really, really, really impressive, especially in the day and age now with all these transfers. Because like we touched on last night on the coma. Gone are the days of a guy, coming as a freshman and sitting down 3 years behind somebody, and then coming out and only giving himself 1 year to kind of put things together, to get to the next level of the NFL. These guys getting out of there quick. Once they get there, understand the system, get everything set up, and realize, hey, I'm not going to see the field for another 2, 3, 4 seasons, man, they're out of there. So, I mean, There's a lot of untapped talent, and I think that we'll take advantage of it. Somebody showed us the ball on Joey Burrow, and I really like the piece that when they showed his mom and dad. His dad was 16 years old at Ohio State as defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He just up and left and chase, to follow his son around and help his son. I mean, that's man. You can't write a better story than that, man. That's ultimate support, man. Big shout out to Papa and Mama Joe, because they along with Coach Joe and along with all the other staff and the weapons that he had around him, I think that support system with his parents basically relocating from Ohio to Baton Rouge to kind of get behind their son for this remarkable run. I think that had a lot to do with it as well. And it was just a perfect storm, perfect season.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about it, man. It was definitely a perfect season. Perfect storm as well. But Coach O, man, if you look at what Coach O was able to put together over the duration of the last several seasons, man, of constantly pushing on and onward and upward. And it's nothing but great things you can say about Coach O, his recruiting class, and the kind of class that he put together. Last year, when people don't realize how really close LSU was to a national championship last year. They came short by 2 games. The Texas A&M matchup and the Florida matchup when they lost in the swamp. They got revenge for it this year. And, of course, the Texas A&M game when they went into several overtime periods, which turned out to be the longest football game in the history of college. But it's interesting because LSU took that, came back the next year with that vaunted, excellent recruiting class led by Michael Stingley, who was a key contributor and during this season. And the kid's special, man. He played big in this matchup. They were afraid to even attack his side of the field. So, it just shows you that the future is definitely bright for Coach O. And this is not – and people need to understand, this is not just a one-hitter quitter. This LSU squad and what Coach O has built in Death Valley has the makings of, dare I say, the D-word dynasty, man. His recruiting is definitely going to keep on pushing forward, and they're going to keep getting strong. How they took over, how they pushed past Alabama was a statement game. How they got revenge on all the teams that they lost in the prior season, and how they beat down the naysayers. The people that said that LSU could not beat Oklahoma, they couldn't beat Clemson, or they couldn't beat Ohio State. LSU decimated these teams. And might I add, we talk about this fantastic offense, but the defense needs to get credit too because of how they played against people like Jalen Hurts, who was special this year, and this kid Trevor Lawrence, who was special. These guys looked ordinary against the Tigers. And these were some of college's best quarterbacks. And our pass rushers were able to make them look subpar and normal. So there's a couple of numbers I'm going to hit you with the statistics before we bank out because it's just a flash show we're doing. It's kind of late in the day. And me and Mizzy will return tomorrow with a full-length breakdown. We'll go back over. We'll have interviews from Coach O, Joey Burrow. We'll go over the meat and potatoes of it. We'll take calls. We'll also answer questions in the chat. But here's a couple of some statistics before we leave. Joe Burrow, 31 of 49 for 463, 9.4 average on a throw, 5 touchdowns. Amazing. Clyde Edwards-Helaire returned to his respectable form, 16 carries for 110 yards. The man averaged 7 yards a carry. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Joe Burrow had 14 rushes for 58 yards in the game, and it even picked up in the second half to show you how tough this guy was. He took that shot from that linebacker that was tossed, and he continued to run the ball. Burrow's awesome, man. Jamal Chase, just Madden type level statistics. 9 catches, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged almost 25 yards every time he touched the ball. That is absolutely amazing. Justin Jefferson had a special game too. 9 catches, 106 yards, averaged almost 12 yards every time he caught the ball. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 5 catches for 54 yards, 11-yard average. Terrace Marshall had 3 catches for 46 yards in the score. Thaddeus Moss put in a big performance with his pops looking on. 5 catches for 36 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns in the game. On defense for the Tigers, Man, it's just terrific, man. Let me see if I can pull up some of the defensive statistics on the Tigers as well, man, because I just think that, man, it was special, especially how Queen played in this matchup. Queen was special, man. He led the team in tackles. Him and Jacob Phillips both had 8 tackles apiece. Patrick had a half a sack in a game. He had 2 tackles for a loss, 2.5 tackles for a loss. Like I said, Jacob Phillips was a second. Behind him was Jacoby Stevens. He had 7 tackles in the game. Christian Fulton turned in a pretty good performance. He had 6 tackles. Grant Delpit came in the game. He left out there a little problem, but he put a lick into a few people, especially T. Higgins. He stuck T. Higgins.
Yep.
He never was the same after that, man. He stuck him, and that was a wrap on T. Higgins. But
His skeleton jumped out his body and kept going down the field while his body just stood there. It was crazy. The hit was unbelievable.
Right.
It's like one of those crash dummy videos. You know when they run the little thing into the side of the car, and all the dummies in the inside of the car, everything move around. That's how he looks. I mean, that was a dream hit for a safety.
I mean, he lined them up perfectly, Five. I make no bones about it, man. He lined them up, hit them, popped them.
I was so scared they was gonna try to hit him with a targeting, man. But when I looked at the replay and saw he led with the shoulder, it was just perfect.
Right. That was pretty good, man. You got to give credit where credit due to these guys, man. They turned in a really good performance, and then I'm just really proud of the fact that LSU Tigers really literally shut all these clowns down talking mess. Grant Delpit had 6 tackles in the game. He had 1 sack as well, 1 tackle for a loss, and a pass defense, and several really good tackles in the game. Kerry Vincent Jr., 3 tackles in the game. Rashard Lawrence was big in the middle. He had 3 tackles as well. And K'Levion Chasen, man, he didn't get much today, but boy, was his pressure there. He just made Lawrence totally uncomfortable all night. He didn't get to him, but man, he was there swiping at him. I mean, he got a call for a face mask, reaching out, but Chason was around him all night long. So, I mean, not to mention Michael Divinity also was in the area, making it very uncomfortable for this kid. Glenn Logan had a couple of tackles in the game as well. So they finished with 2 sacks on him. And, of course, they had a hit that Trevor Lawrence fumbled the ball away. So it was a really nice night, man. Big ups to the LSU's offense, defense, special teams, not so much. Cade York. They need to get another kicker. This guy sucks. He missed that field goal, that easy field goal. He should have made that. Zach Von Rosenberg, the punter. I call him the Baron Von Rosenberg. He had 7 punts for 312 yards, 44.5 average on the punts. He had 3 that landed inside the 20. The longest was a 56-yarder. So LSU, man, it's just big win. We knew it was going to happen, but people kept saying it was going to be closer than what it was. Me and Five said it was going to be an interesting game, a very fun game, only because LSU makes it that way in terms of how they score the ball, how they move the ball, how they throw the ball down the field, how most teams can't deal with the speed or don't know how to play them. You got to play because you can't just sit back on them because you got to apply some level of pressure because you got a quarterback that's known to scramble. And their offense is so difficult to pin down, man. So difficult to pin down. Imagine if Joey Burrow didn't have any legs and he couldn't move around. He didn't have any wheels. Imagine how they can be able to just blitz him to death and knock him all around because, truth be told, they were getting I was wondering what was going to happen when the adjustment was going to be made, Five, because they were in the spread offense, and boy, Clemson was unloading. They were sending, and Joey was taking some shots, and I was like, I wonder what's going on here. But sooner or later, they were able to come up out of that because they realized Burrow was starting to find those wide receivers. They couldn't start blitzing all those extra guys. They're going to have to send 3 in there and drop everybody back. It didn't work.
Oh, yeah, they made a play when they went. Absolutely. They went one-eye safety. Every time he called him in one-eye safety, he went deep. So they had to keep that extra guy back there. And that definitely made a difference. And that's when you able to see Allaire kind of open up and do his thing. And, I mean, although he didn't have big rush yards, man, as far as the safety valve dink and dunk game, man, on those little short passes, a lot of those conversions, man, second and third, he made a lot of those second down plays become a lot of third and short if he didn't convert them, man. So even though he didn't have a huge game tonight with his feet, man, being able to catch those small little flat routes and small little wheel routes, and just finding a spot in the middle of the field and just sitting down right behind the linebackers in the zone. I mean, those plays really, really helped out, and he was able to kind of find his way in with that,
I think it was just magnificent. Travis Etienne is a Louisiana guy who chose to go to Clemson. The guy's terrific, but they shut him down. 78 yards on 15 carries, although he did have a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, really, who's most impactful, not just throwing the ball, but the guy has wheels too. He can move. They kind of slowed him down. He had 10 rushes for 49 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, T. Higgins, who was a first-round draft pick wide receiver, had 3 catches for 52 yards. You want to talk about them literally shutting down Clemson's weapons. Clemson has several pro-ready players right now. Travis Etienne is coming out in the draft. T. Higgins is coming out as well. They have a couple of defensive players that will be coming out in the draft. The linebacker, who's pretty good for him, what's his name? Isaiah Simmons is pretty good. I think Isaiah Simmons is coming out this year. They have a cornerback that's supposed to be coming out as well. Man, is A.J. Terrell. So they got a lot of really talented players. So does LSU. But like I said, it's a freaking buzzsaw, man. LSU's offense and the team, period, how the defense vibes off the offense. And people looking at the offense because they putting up these numbers and they just so dominant. They're so dynamite. But the defense, man, you got to give the defense credit too, because they play against this offense in practice. And if you play against offense that fast, that dominant, it'll definitely help you prepare for whatever anybody going to do. So it started a little slow, a kind of a chess match. Like I like to use boxing terminology every now and again. The first 2 or 3 rounds, you see the fighters not doing too much. They're just filling each other out, and then somebody figures out somebody, and then next thing you know, it becomes a game of adjustments. And that's what happened. After LSU adjusted, Clemson had no need for it. And even though LSU started the second half off and just died in the start of the second half, Clemson had an opportunity to close the gap. They couldn't do it. LSU defense prevented them. They made it uncomfortable for Trevor Lawrence. And I hadn't seen him uncomfortable like that in a while, like in the Ohio State game when they knocked him around. He came back in there and took off. He just didn't have a performance like that against LSU. Big win. I like to say, give a big shout out to everybody joining us on the channel right now. Tramal, Shedrick, Kevin, Tramal, True Louisianimal, Derek. Let's see, my boy Derek in the building. Scoob, good to see you, Scoob. Let's see who else is in there. All the family members. Jason King, he says, Coach O, baby, I'm from La Rose, Louisiana. Couldn't be prouder right now. Go Tigers. That's right, family. All the LSU people need to be proud, man, because this was a special win, a special season. 15-0 champions. I mean, just everything. Every trophy that you made for college, we took it home. We took it from it. So, I mean, this is going to be interesting moving forward because this is the first of many trophies. This is not the end. Coach O has built something special in Death Valley, man, and we're going to keep it turning and twisting. But anyway, family, I'd like to thank all of y'all for joining us, man, here on the show. First of all, just to let the family members know that we'll be returning tomorrow. Correct, Mizzy? Mizzy will be joining us tomorrow. We'll do a full-length show. Maybe we'll do a couple hours on the show. We'll have interviews from Coach O. We'll have interviews from Joey Burrow. We'll open the phone lines. We'll also have answer questions from the chat from me or Mizzy on the Tough Tiger Talk. It'll be on this channel. So subscribe if you aren't a subscriber. Share the link, in the Tigers Facebook pages, whatever, and we'll be doing it again. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. I'm very proud of the LSU Tigers, man. They did it, man. We accomplished the goal. The Saints fell short, but the Tigers, they didn't sell you short, man. They did what they were supposed to do. Domination. So I'd like to thank, from me and Mizzy, I'd like to thank y'all for joining us today. Go Tigers, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.
homebistro.com. Freshly prepared, home-delivered, restaurant-quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50-plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commit. Welcome to the one-shop gourmet food delivery, specialized in affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from homebistro.com? Restaurant quality, made with natural ingredients, delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering, and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with homebistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with homebistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is The Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out The Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to EmbracePetInsurance.com. That's EmbracePetInsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.